The question here is whether a naturalized citizen can be deported. The short answer is no, at least according to the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals. This is a case of Gonzalez Castillo. Basically, Gonzalez Castillo entered the United States illegally in 1981. Then in 1989, he became a lawful permanent resident. In 2009, he applies for U.S. citizenship. However, he lied on his application because he was arrested for sexual abuse, abusing his niece. On the day of the interview, because he wasn't convicted, but he was at least released, for some reason he appeared to the interview. He lied on the application and then obtained his U.S. citizenship. 2 months later, after lying on the application, he was convicted, convicted of sexual abuse. But he remained still a U.S. citizen. Although he went to prison, he remained a U.S. citizen for 10 years. In 2019, under Trump 1.0, the first administration, they started his denaturalization proceedings because, they can revoke automatically your citizenship if you lie on your application, whether you have been arrested or convicted. And even if you were not convicted, but you've been arrested and charged for a crime, but you lie, omit that on your application, you can be denaturalized. They can revoke your U.S. citizenship because you lied to the government. So in 2019, of course, the Trump 1.0 started the denaturalization proceedings and succeeded. Then he was ordered removed. Gonzalez Castillo appealed. He went all the way to the Court of Appeal for the Sixth Circuit, and finally they decided that he cannot be removed because at the time he committed the crime, he was a U.S. citizen. Therefore, you cannot deport a U.S. citizen because the government argument was that an alien is deportable for sexual abuse type of convictions. And then the lawyers argued that he wasn't an alien, he was a U.S. citizen at the time of the conviction, therefore he is not removable or deportable. So I guess this case will go all the way to the Supreme Court because they still have to determine, because I guess the government is trying to argue that even though he was a U.S. citizen, but he obtained his U.S. citizenship by misrepresentation, by way of lying in the application. But the lawyers argue that, of course, he was still a U.S. citizen because he maintained that citizenship for 10 years. So at the time he was convicted, he was not an alien, therefore not deportable. This is a very interesting one, but at least we have an answer whether or not a U.S. naturalized citizen can be deported. The simple and short answer is no. Follow for more. Until next time, bye-bye.